Hey, we'll wait a second, let some people see that we're here and come on in. And let me check the sound. Hey, how you guys doing? Let some more people come in. Can you hear me clear? Is it all right? Let's check me. And then I'm going to play some guitar. Just make sure it's not kind of screwed up from the internet. Is that clear? You can leave comments, ask questions. All right, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar in the rock band Hero Jr. We've been playing together for a little more than 8 years and about 850 shows. We've got a bunch of records out. Hey man, sounding good? Okay. Yeah, and I've been working with Orange. I've been playing Orange amps on tour and in the studio as a session guitarist for the same amount of time for 8 years. I got associated with Orange when I joined Hero Jr. And yeah, I love Orange stuff. And today I am going one sweet tone, so under $100. Today I'm doing the whole podcast, webcast, whatever we call our Orange Hangs thing here with my Crush Mini because I haven't unpacked any of my gear yet from Chicago. I've been doing a lot of mixing this week, so I haven't played guitar a lot, haven't cut my fingernails, haven't gotten the toast out from between my teeth, so yeah, you get me in rare form today. For those of you just coming in, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. I also do sessions, and I've been a songwriter my whole life, so we can talk about guitar, we can talk about songwriting, production, how you guys can have a career in music, what you guys can be doing during lockdown and this pandemic that we're all in to keep your music going. Yeah, so here's my little crush. Say something in Spanish. Hola, ¿qué tal? Crush Mini, fuck yeah. This is great. Put a mic in front of this. You don't need anything else for your sessions. It's my go-to little travel amp, and it's great for harmonica. I carry this around when I do writing sessions sometimes. It's all cool. Why don't you tell me what you guys are doing? Are you guys in bands? You can post your band so we can see what's going on. I did get some questions by email, so I can answer those while we're all coming in. For those of you just joining us, I am Ken Rose. I play guitar for the rock band Hero Jr. You can check us out on www.herojuniormusic.com and at Hero Jr. on Instagram, at Hero Jr. Music on Facebook, and yeah, you'll find us. Okay. I mean, everybody goes, well, you're just, pitching Orange, but I was a really hardcore vintage Marshall guy when I was living in London before I moved back to America, and I was playing through some late 60s JMPs that were amazing, and I was playing through Vox AC30 as well. I had some old Fender amps. Like, I had a lot of different amps, and the guys at Orange, they knew I was joining a rock band that was a real 70s influence, and they said that it was 100% that I would love the Orange amp. So I said, all right, if you're so sure. And so I took an OR50 on tour with me, and it's been my amp ever since. And I've used Orange stuff in all applications, and it really, I mean, it always delivers. And I think they're underrated in a lot of other styles too. I mean, I've used my um, Rockerverb 50 clean channel on that is amazing, and I've used that on tons and tons of sessions. And just, I mean, listen, I don't know if you can hear how clear it is because I'm just using my laptop microphone, but you can. This is I'm playing through a 1972 original Les Paul standard, and this is my main guitar. And like you can totally hear the definition on each pickup just in this ampy lead, middle. And neck. And I don't know how they did it, but really this little amp, it has that same characteristic that the big ones have. And yeah, I'm a real guitar snob, not because I know a lot about guitars and amplifiers, but I'm a real feeling based guitar player. So if it doesn't feel good in my hand and the connection doesn't go to the amplifier, I suck. So that's why I love Marshall or Orange. It really does work with my style and playing. Um, oh, cool. Yeah, Hero Junior. It's a really cool story. I pretty much gave up being in a band. I'm a real fan of real bands. I mean, okay, everything's a real band, but Led Zeppelin, the Stones, like bands where there was something else going on stage. And what I've learned from being in a band is it's just, if you've got good camaraderie, good communication, and you're cool with the people that you're working with and being creative with, you can really put something out on the road that's special. And I think we really have that. And I actually just came over to America to attend the CD release party and jam with Hero Junior because we had worked on their record together, and it was so cool and there was so much magic that I just left England, and I've been on the road ever since up until COVID. So yeah, we've done 8 years on the road, 8.5 now, and every big shows, festivals, small stuff. We've paid our dues, and so yeah, I love being in our band. I think it's such a great extension of my life. And so if you haven't heard of us, check us out because I think that you'll hear about us soon. Um, yeah, the Clean Channel is great. And there's Anthony Turco. And he's going to be on next week or the week after because I've got a bunch of tube questions always. And since he was on and we had a kind of weird show, it was bad reception and stuff on Instagram. I'm going to bring him back on again, and he's actually going to teach me how to bias my amp. And since I don't know shit about that, and hopefully I won't blow myself up, but he's turned me on to some really cool tube recipes, and we'll have him on and share them with you because he's an Orange user and he's got some really great tube advice. So either next week or the week after, we will get Anthony on here, and you guys can bring your tube questions because he's pretty rad with that stuff. All right, I can't even fucking see that. Yeah, okay. Everybody, I know that the OR series is really cool and it's hand wired. But there is something really I mean, like I said, I play guitar for other people on sessions when we're not touring, and I've got a studio at home, and I do play all styles, even though I'm totally rock is my main thing, and that's what I like doing. But I help people out, and I do some sessions, and the Orange stuff, it works great. I mean, and I don't have fancy gear, but I do have a lot of Orange stuff, and their tube stuff and solid state stuff. it all has warmth to it. And the Crush series, it has warmth too. It's really cool. I think I would record with this one right here. I mean, if it's something that I could do solos with this and put it on a record, it would be fine. It's if you can put SM57 on it. Tons of, it does buzz, but who cares? Like even the clean sounds pretty good on here. You can do some R&B stuff. I'll clean it up even more. All right. Really half dirty. So Solid State to It All Rocks. Yeah, it's really weird. I've had time to think about all of the amp, guitar effects, everything, and I think if you put the wrong amp and guitar on my hands, I think I would still suck. Like I really need to feel something that feels good to me, and it's something that I talk about when I do master classes or lectures about the psychology of music. It's like I think there's a lot of musicians, and I'm not judging, I'm just saying from my experience that there are a lot of musicians that try to be something for other people. And I've just learned, by a lot of trial and error that the more I'm being true to myself and do what I like for me, the more it reaches other people and touches other people. And it really doesn't matter, if I found a shitty amp that felt good, I would use it. And for me, the orange stuff, it just really it feels good, and it was the right time and the right tour and everything. And it's just like it happened so fast, and I just didn't have to stress anything. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're all different, but being honest and finding your own gear that feels good to you, regardless of what other people think. I mean, I think that's with any kind of art, with anything. I think that's, really expensive, important, expensive. What am I talking about? Yeah, the bang guitar. I haven't played through that yet. I hear really good stuff about it, and I'll try to get one for Guitar Disorder, which is a website. We're doing some reviews, and my good friend Steve Rose started that website, and I'm helping him out. And we were just talking about that the other day, so I gotta check that out and do a demo for that bang guitar. Everybody says it's really good. I've seen it advertised again. Kind of disappeared for a while. Yeah, shitty amps that sound good. I used to have a huge shitty amps that sound good phase. And what I really like, if you've got this amp, I mean, I don't even know what these cost, but I think it's like $75. When you let I keep a bunch of old batteries around for this one because there's a certain sound this gets when the battery's about 95% dead. That's really awesome. And it's got that old Silvertone kind of sound when it's all broken up. And yeah, I mean, this actually isn't a shitty amp. Wow, this is a new battery. I haven't had a new battery in here for a while. I'm liking it a lot with the new battery. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, my name's Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. This is Orange Hangs. We do it every Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern and 9 o'clock UK time. Cliff Cooper, he's the man. He's the guy that started Orange. It's his vision that he's kept going for all these years, and it's just as good as it was back in the day. I was just asked last week about what I thought about the old OR series compared to the new OR series, and it's all. I really haven't played an Orange amp that sucks, and it's really true. I mean, from the smallest one, I mean, I've got Rockerberg 50, OR 50. The dual tear is rad. I mean, I use that a lot too. So again, it's just good shit. The only thing I'm not digging is that I can't see shit today. Yeah, I mean, you can I got to figure out a way to do my internet show where I can get studio quality, because it would really be cool. Right now, I've just got the amp sitting next to the laptop microphone, which sucks. But I've used this with what have I used mics on there? I've used everything from like really good Neumann tube microphones down to SM57s. And if it takes a little time to set the tone so you get it just right, but I can put this amp in a mix with a full band and you won't know that it's coming from a little speaker. And the thing that's really rad about this amp is it's got an output, and you can put this through 412s, 212s, whatever you want, and it kills. I'll try to set it up next week with another speaker, but it's pretty loud. I mean, I don't think I could play rehearsal with it, but it records way, way better. Yeah, Cliff Cooper is a legend for sure. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. You can check us out, www.herojuniormusic.com, at Hero Jr. on Instagram, and you can find me on at My Warped Halo, MYWARPEDHALO on Instagram. So say hi. I get a lot of questions and comments there too, and then I bring all that shit into the show every week. All right, looks like we got a guest here. I love this new streaming setup. Hey, dude.
Yo, how you doing?
I'm good. Blake from the Tone Mob podcast.
That's me.
You're pretty
How you guys
busy.
doing?
We're good. You're pretty busy, huh? You've been doing a lot of podcasting and gear reviews and all kinds of stuff lately.
Oh yeah, I'm always busy. It's good though. It's good kind of busy. Lots of reviews, lots of demos, projects I'm working on with various companies, and yeah, it's never a dull moment around here.
Yeah. So for you guys that haven't tuned in or haven't seen it, Blake and I were talking about composing for film and TV last week, because I said it's easy to do. You just have to go for it and make the experience and learn how to do it. Did you do it this week? Did you write anything, record anything?
No, I actually got roped into a different project. My friend Rocky Catanese, he plays in a band called Mercy Union. He's doing a bunch of covers for a cover album that's all the proceeds are going to go to a charity, and he asked me to play guitar on track. So I haven't learned a song in a million years. So even though it's an easy song, I'm like, man, I forgot what it's like to learn a song that's not my own composition or something. So
all right, dude.
So I've been working on that in when I have gaps in time. I'm like, okay, let's figure out this part real quick. Pulling up YouTube and like, okay, yeah. It's been a while since I've had to learn a cover. So been working on that.
Cool, man. Well, you'll get to it. Hey, so we've been, for those of you guys that don't know, we've always had Blake come on every week, and we're talking about a new fuzz because that seems to be the pedal that everybody's the most interested, searching for the ultimate fuzz, myself included, how to get rid of the old shit on my pedal board and put new stuff on. So what we got?
We got the Earthquaker Devices Bit Commander. This thing is pretty wild. It's a very aggressive fuzz with high and low octaves. So we got the sub octave, we got down one and up one. It's all analog, so that's kind of like glitchy and weird and crazy. But this thing is like it's almost kind of like almost a Jack White in a box type situation. I don't think it was marketed that way, but those are the type of riffs I start playing when I'm playing it. It always seems to pull the same kind of things out of me, and it's really great. It sounds awesome. It doesn't track perfectly like most analog octaves don't. I'm pretty sure it's analog. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn there, but either way, it doesn't track perfectly, but that's kind of part of the charm with it. It's like the little imperfections kind of make it even cooler. So
yeah. What's the low end like?
Oh, it's got a sub octave on it, so it'll shake the room if you want it to. But what's nice is you can dial in however much of each octave range you want. So you could turn the sub totally off if you wanted. You could turn the high end totally off, and just have and you can just have it set to just have one of each of those. But yeah, it's a riff machine for sure. And then on top of it, it's got a filter.
You got a Rickenbacker. I haven't seen that guitar.
Oh yeah, my 360.
Is that yours or your dad's?
This one's mine. Everything out here is mine. My dad's the acoustic player primarily. Yeah, I bought this. I bought that guitar from a shop that was closing down, going out of business. It wasn't really going out of business. The owner was more just retiring, and so it was the only Rickenbacker dealer in the Portland area, and they were blowing them out at a stupid price that I couldn't say no to. So I got that, and cool. I use it. I don't use Rickenbackers for like the traditional like jangly Beatles stuff. I actually use them with a lot of fuzz and like high gain is where I think that they shine the best. That's just my opinion. You mess with Rickies very much?
Oh man, I used to use a 12 string to do. I had a phase I had just a serious Beatles phase where I learned everything. I used to listen. When you listen to Beatles records and you unplug the left side, you can hear everything on the right. And they recorded a lot of stuff in mono. Well, I mean, all this stuff in mono pretty much. You can hear the way they pan stuff. So, yeah, if you guys are Beatles fans, definitely listening to old records one side at a time. You'll find all kinds of shit you've never heard of. And there's like, when you do that, you can hear like Lennon singing alone sometimes in the room. Wow. It's really cool. And yeah, so, but my fingers, they never felt good on a Rickenbacker for so many reasons, because they've got that glazed neck, which is kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
I get sweaty, and it's just like, it gets messy with me. And I had tuning problems too. Like, I just play a little too hard. So whenever I played a Rickenbacker, it was like always I had to accommodate the guitar. but they sound great. I mean, there's no guitar like a Rickenbacker, and the six strings, it's just that's just not my thing. If I want that jingly jangly thing, I like a little bit more balls. But they're so clear, you know. And you're right, through a fuzz. I mean, they squeal really nicely through a fuzz. It's a good.
Did you ever mess with the Rico sound on them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show people what that is.
That's the stereo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show people.
Yeah.
So on the 360s and some, there we go. Some of the other models, you got two in or outputs there. One of those you can plug a splitter into, and it takes each pickup and sends it. You can send it to two different amps, which is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was in London, I was using that and I was playing it through an AC30 and a JTM, and really really cool. That's a good thing to have.
Especially if you like run it through a bunch of different pedals,
Yeah.
splitting the signal, going out different ways. You can get real weird with it, man.
I got pictures of the floor of my studio after a couple days of that, and it's like it took me a day to clean up all the shit that I had piled up all over the place.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't like show you the whole room, because it's a big mess.
I'm pretty good at it now, but so I want to check. That's funny because I got a bunch of stuff from Earthquaker for the website, and that wasn't in there. So I want to really check that one out.
I'm not 100% sure if the Bit Commander is still in production or not. I've had this for probably 4 or 5 years now. I don't know for a fact if they still make it or not. But there should be plenty out there used if they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, I'll check it out. As you know, I'm like sometimes never paying attention to gear, but now I am a little more. So everything's new and exciting.
There's so much out there.
Well, have a good week. We'll see you next week. And thanks for coming in with a new fuzz. If you guys want to check out a fuzz and you don't know what you want to check out, write it down, have a look and see what's out there. There's a good chance that Blake has got it. If you don't know Blake, check him out at the Tone Mob podcast, which you can find everywhere. And yeah, man.
Thanks for having me on, Ken.
Yep. Take care. See you soon.
See ya.
All right, we're back. Yes, Derek, we like chit-chatting because we don't know anything else to do. What I really want to do on this hour is to talk about songwriting and production and ways to help you guys that are maybe looking to get into the music business or looking to get into something with your creativity and music. There's a lot of ways you can do things. And I mean, I would love to develop this hour into something of that too, where you guys can ask questions about what you go through, whether it's writer's block, whether it's finding a band, how to get on tour, how to make music or make money doing music. There's a lot of ways that you can find some hidden talents that you guys have in yourselves. And I am pretty good at helping people find that. So, you know, if you don't want to do it here in public, you could also write me. I'm going to try and start some master classes again online. But yeah, there's so many things that we can do with music, and you guys are all musicians, I would imagine. So, yeah. So like I said, I'm on my little dude today. Ooh, this is going to distort. I'll use it on the other guitar. God, this is so much lighter. Okay, this is my number 2 guitar. And this is a custom shop Les Paul. It's the closest thing I've ever found to my vintage Les Paul. And it's got Pariah pickups in it. And until I started talking to Sean, I had no idea that they even existed. And this is a great pickup company. He wound these for me. They're T-type pickups. I love these pickups. And this is a whole different, this is my second guitar. This is the one I use as my backup, but I love these pickups. Yeah, these are cool. These are really cool pickups. If you've never checked out Pariah pickups, they really, really are nice and balanced, nice and warm, and yeah, like I said, for someone like me that's not into the technical stuff, they really do feel good when I'm playing. What do we got? Cool. Hey, the more people banging out power chords, the better. TH100. Um, Thanks, man. Thanks, Derek, for hanging out. Paul, right on, dude. William Blake. The TH100 twin channel is one of the worst. Okay, I have no idea. I've never played that amp, so that's a drag that you think it's one of the worst. But we all have our own taste, and can't say anything about that amp because I've never played it before. My name's Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. You can check us out on YouTube. Actually, on YouTube, you can check us out on Gibson TV. There's us rehearsing. Oh, cool, Gabriel. All right, I got a super special dude here that you guys are going to be really interested in, hopefully. So, Gabriel, dude,
Hey, man.
how are you?
Pretty all right. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. What are you up
Awesome.
to?
Just listening to a little oldies and enjoying the Monday,
Right on. So, for you guys that don't know Gabriel Curry, he is an awesome dude, awesome guitar builder, awesome fan of the blues and vintage music, vintage everything, right?
Try to, yeah.
Build some guitars for some pretty cool dudes.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky, very lucky. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just sitting here playing guitar.
It's good to see you, brother. It's
Yeah,
been a
you too,
while.
man. Hey, so I saw you've got a new pedal out.
Yeah, we've been working on a couple of things actually, and it's kind of based on a dual boost that we put out a few years ago. We kind of changed a couple of things and added a couple of things and got rid of a couple of things, and something that I wanted to be very usable for studio and stage.
Yeah,
Um, and so we just released it. I don't even have one yet. That's how new it is. Um, and started shipping them last week.
oh, right on. So if you got that, and that's echoparkguitars.com.
Yeah, that's on the website.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and you guys, Gabriel built that white pedal that you guys all ask about whenever you're asking about what my clean booth is. I'm still using that. The
Oh, oh,
the soap bar. It's insane. It's one of
yeah.
my favorite.
It's sort of based on that. It's like a hyper. It's like that on crack, basically.
Oh, cool. Is it
Yeah.
like the old blue one that you used to do?
It's basically based on that, except it's got a master volume in the first channel, so you can kind of really dial in the amount of drive that the first one has and the amount of level. And then the secondary boost is a stacked single transistor style boost, so it doesn't have any kind of chips or anything like that, and it's all very like kind of natural sounding and very. It's got probably like 28 dBs of boost in it, so it's pretty hits the front end of an amp pretty hard, and just kind of gets it searing, but you can actually dial it back. There's a couple of high pass filters in there on a switch that you can kind of dial back some of the higher frequencies out of.
That's cool. Have you ever heard the Tone Mob podcast with Blake?
Tone Mob. I think I have, yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys should hook up. He has a great podcast talking about gear.
Oh, really?
And he
Oh,
knows
cool.
way more about it than I do. Like with me, it's just a little bit fuzzier. All right, cool.
Yeah, no, he probably knows a lot more than I do too. So, yeah,
But you guys are pretty busy, right?
yeah, man, we've been busy for a little while. We're just trying to. We're gonna move again. We're moving across town to the middle of Detroit, the downtown area of Detroit. Right now, we're kind of on the outskirts.
Right.
Um, it's the ghetto. We like it. It's cool, but we want to move downtown where a little more of the art scene is, and that kind of thing, and a little closer to some of the larger venues and things like that, so that when things open up again, we'll have a little easier access, and then we can kind of share the place a little more too. It's not so much of a haul out here. Detroit's kind
Yeah.
of interesting like that. People don't like to drive that much, so go figure. The city.
Show everybody what you got behind you.
All those guys, yeah, yeah. We're a little OCD around here, so you know.
Well, it's really good to see you, man. And you guys should all check out Gabriel's guitars and pedals. They sound great with all amps. And yeah, I mean, you're the dude.
Ah, man, thanks.
You are.
Thanks. It's good to see you, man. Thank you for sharing this with me. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And yeah, you guys can find everything on the website. It's all there. It's all available. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I'll post it so everybody finds you for sure.
All right, killer, man. Well,
Love you, brother.
have a great rest of your day. Happy
Yeah,
Monday.
you too.
Bye.
See ya. All right, you got to check out Gabriel. He's a real legend. He's super humble. He's built guitars for Joe Perry, for Aerosmith, for Queens of the Stone Age, just tons of people. Check out his website and the work he does, because it's really, really high quality work. Yeah, I've been using one of his clean boosts on tour for a while now, and I really, really love it. He's a total dude. So check him out at echoparkguitars.com. He's got all styles of guitars. He's got a couple really cool effects, and yeah, he's kind of got that mojo that we're all looking for somehow. And speaking of mojo, I'm just playing on the smallest of the mojos today. This little dude reacts pretty good to volume too. I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr., and we're here on Orange Hangs, like we are every Monday at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 9 o'clock UK time. Check out, again, Gabriel's stuff at echoparkguitars.com. Check out the Tone Mob podcast. I think if you go back to April, I did that podcast with Blake. It's a really good podcast, and he's got great questions, and he's a great dude. Some of the other questions I got this week. Okay, again, I did get Matt C. You asked again what amps and tubes I use, and for the most part, I haven't changed a whole lot. Everything I've got is stayed good, but I did have the fortune to meet Anthony Turco, who's pretty good with tubes and all kinds of all that kind of stuff. And we had him on, and he just gave me a new recipe for tubes. And I am going to switch my RV50 all around and learn how to bias it myself, which will be quite interesting for a non-technical person like me. But yeah, so stay tuned. Next week, I'll put it up on the Orange site, and I'll put it up on my social media as well. But either next week or the week after, Anthony Turco is going to be on. Other questions that I got. Oh yeah, my clean boost. We were just talking about that. So yeah, I can't move my computer now, and I can't take it off my pedal board. But I'm using the Echo Park Clean Boost, and it's the only one I've really used. I tried so many, and I didn't like it. I have no idea what it's going to sound like with this amp. But let's see. Here's without it. And here's with it. What I like about this Clean Boost is that it pretty much keeps the sound of my amp exactly the way I like it. And even with this little one, I don't think I ever used it through here. It just gives it a little more harmonics on the top end. And it's got, I think, I don't know, 18 or 20 dB, and I get a boost that I need, which is cool. Okay, now that I'm playing through this little amp, I got to try all my pedals through it because I got my pedal board. So let's see. So now I'm going to use, I've been using an Echoplex delay from Jim Dunlop. I really like this delay because it's small, it lasts long time, and it's not Echoplex. And I've got a couple Echoplexes and they break. So let's check this out. Not bad. Other pedals that I'm using with the band. Phase 90, one of my favorite all-time pedals. That's a great pedal too. I love that one. Another pedal that I've kind of been getting into. So I've been playing Big Muff, the green Russian version. That's pretty much been my main over fuzz kind of thing. But I've been using the Crimson for a while. That's pretty cool. That's from JHS. I actually put one on my pedal board for now while we're recording our new album. And even over this little amp that's already overdriven, it's not bad. So that's how it is normally. JHS Crimson, cool pedal, fun pedal to use. Sounds a lot like the vintage stuff. What else is interesting? Okay, Memory Man is always fun. This is a vintage one from end of the 70s. say? The dial turned off. Does that mean the dial fell off? That sucks. Yeah, Phase 90 is the shit. It's one of my favorite all-time pedals. And what else? Yeah, I mean, I keep it pretty simple. I got a couple questions about pedals that I use. I use a whole different set of pedals when I'm doing guitar sessions for other people as opposed to touring with the band. When I'm touring with the band, I'm just using a Big Muff, but I'm going to try bringing the Crimson JHS on tour. I've got an Echoplex delay. I've got a custom audio electronics wah from Jim Dunlop. I've got the Echo Park Clean Boost soap bar, Phase 90, and Memory Man. That's it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pedals I use, and I barely use those too. But yeah, so, and then when I'm in the studio playing guitar on other people's records, I mean, I've got tons of stuff and I'm always experimenting. I have just been using some of the Earthquaker stuff. They're more modern, glitch pedals are really cool. What else do I have? Oh, I build a lot of my own, not effects, but like effects paths. I'm really into what Daniel Lanois does as a producer, taking things and recording them and then re-recording them and just keep going until you get a good texture, stuff like that. So, yeah, and a couple, wait, Pete R., how do you prepare for being a studio musician? Oh, man. Yeah, first of all, I think you've got to want to be the kind of person that can be creative for other people and take direction really well. I mean, I have experience on both sides, being the director and being the person that takes direction. And there's joy in both of it. If I'm working on someone's record and I have to find a way to be myself and make them happy, that's a really, it's a cool challenge. And so there's a whole, it's a whole different mindset. I mean, most of the time people hire me for doing exactly what I do, which is either rock stuff or really experimental pop and weird stuff. But I mean, I kind of have a little experience in all areas of guitar. And so if you want to do studio work, first of all, you've got to be up on your chops and at least really, good with the style that you like and that you think you're ready to be out there. And I think the best way to start is to just do free work for friends at the beginning, unless you're that good where you're going to get calls and start getting paid to play guitar on people's records. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with finding your friends that are songwriters or your friends that are just hobby musicians, whatever, and help them, play guitar on their music and see when people are happy, how you react, when people want to change something, how you react. It's a real give and take when you're a studio musician, because you want to give the person that you're working with, whether they're paying you or not, you want to give them something that when they listen to their own work back, your part is actually complementary to their work. So I get asked that by quite a few people about doing studio work, and I really suggest highly that you can just bug your friends. I used to bug so many people. Let me play on that. Let me do that. Give me a try. It's like the worst that can happen is someone says no. And this is being an artist, being a musician, being in this music business, there's tons of rejection, but it's not rejection because people don't like you. It's just everyone's got their own taste. So find a group of people that like you and see if you can help them. When they're writing their songs, see if you can add some guitar or bass or keyboards or whatever it is that you do, and you'll see how it works, because there is really no difference if you're a top professional and you're working every day with your instrument than how if you're good and you play at home and you're creative and you want to do this as a job or you want to make that experience. I mean, you just got to try it. The worst that can happen is it doesn't work and you get frustrated and you just kind of keep going. I've always wanted to do music since I started playing. Even before I played guitar, I played tennis racket in the mirror, and I think part of the reason that I get to do this as my job is because I really wanted it badly, and I don't even think I was that good at the beginning. I've met a lot of people who have passed down a lot of cool shit to me, and so I think it's really important, that I can pass that down to you guys too. So, like I said, it would be awesome that we can try to get some kind of a songwriter production guitar touring forum where people that don't have a lot of experience can ask questions about how they might be able to find themselves in the music business or getting paid a little bit to make music or play guitar, because there is that possibility. I mean, it's pretty hard. There's COVID and everything going on, and there's no touring, but there's tons of ways to make music, and there's a lot of artists out there that need support with their work, and a lot of that stuff is possible to do very inexpensively on your computer. I mean, I'm doing all my sessions pretty much now. People send me tracks, and I'm mixing and producing and playing guitar during COVID because we couldn't rehearse or record for 3 months. So I had to keep busy. And there's just a lot of ways, even if you don't have experience, that you got to get yourself out there, and you got to want to do it too. Because if you don't want to do it, no one's going to want you to do it for them. So yeah, that was Peter R. had that question. Dave C. What gauge strings do you use, and what kind of strings do you use? I have been using 11s. This is my custom shop Les Paul. It's a 1960s reissue from last year. It's got Pariah pickups in it, and I have 11s, 11 to 50. I use DNR Pure Blue strings. I think they're amazing. They last for a long time. They really sustain well. I never thought, not being a technician, I never really thought, oh, there's such a big difference in strings. But both Evan from our band and myself, we've been using these strings for a year now at the recommendation of Jared James Nichols, who said, you're really going to notice the difference. And yeah, I mean, both of us, I love these strings. I think they're really even. They definitely don't break as much, if at all. I mean, I tried to break one of these on the show, and it took about a whole hour to break a string. So yeah, I use 11 gauge pure blues DNR strings on all my guitars, and they're consistent. They feel good. That was Dave C's question. Yeah. So you guys, if you're not always going to write here, you can ask me questions. You can reach me on @mywarpedhalo, MYWARPEDHALO. That's on Instagram. Check out the band Hero Junior, always at Hero Junior on Instagram. That's HEROJR. And www.herojuniormusic.com. That's the website. That's the merch store. And yeah, just come say hi. We're not going to be touring, obviously, like most people, till next year, but we're trying to get some things going online that are going to be worth your while. We're putting out a new record sometime this year, which we have been recording totally live in the living room right behind me. That's where I've got my studio here, and it's our place where we do all our work, which is really fun. We've been recording totally live, no overdubs, and that's just the way we do it. It's pretty fun. So there's a new album coming out, and yeah, let me know what you want to talk about here. I'll try to get some different gear next week. I just didn't have anything plugged in, so I'm using the Mini Dude today, which actually sounds really good. All right, that's my time. It's been an hour, and my name's Ken Rose from Hero Junior. Thanks for hanging out. Check us out online at Hero Junior, Instagram, www.herojuniormusic.com, and you'll find us everywhere else. Thanks for hanging, and yep, we'll see you next time. Orange hangs every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. European time. Peace. See you guys later.